and this is a new episode of Confluence with BeetleBird and Momo and Hayoka, and if they want to occasionally coast. Um, Today we will be discussing at first.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
We started off talking about uh, gods and wards and stuff, but we had come to a strange point where well, would you want to recap a little or go back over it before I got to my Malam thing? Malamu?
Oh sure. So I was referencing One Piece and how in the lore, Monkey D. Luffy and his lineage, basically anyone with the middle name D in their name, which has yet to be fully revealed, is considered an enemy of the gods. But in accordance to their lore, the so-called gods are actually the elite, the corrupt government elite of the world, because they consider themselves gods, and those who refuse to be oppressed by them are considered the enemies of the so-called gods. So it makes you wonder. And on top of that, just to put the cherry on top, Luffy has direct descendants from revolutionaries, but then also mythological figures in history we find. So it's very interesting. And I think we're going to get into wards too. Uh, I think I mentioned how in the beginning they say how in the beginning was the word John 1-1, but then I was like, what if the word is a ward, WARD?
Yeah.
Because if a word is a vibration, and then we talk about heavenly realms, imagine that lowly entities couldn't just easily in there, so you'd need a ward. hmm
Yes, yes. And then also, this comes from a tension in the string, shall we say, which would be WOR in this case, if you've heard of that word.
Hmm. I'm
It
looking
is
it
the
up now.
sense of tension that allows a soldier to be a soldier or a person to have the worry to act with, you know, if they need to do something, shall we say.
I see. Hmm.
But it can also mean just the overall tension in an area. A war can be really low, or hidden, subtle even, or it can be brazen and out in the face. It is
I
when,
see.
yeah, it is when a person acts against another's best interest, usually for the self.
Huh. It's funny because I'm looking it up and I'm getting suggestions of an appreciation for worship. But then, of course, there were a lot of religious wars too. War. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's the war on the word war, WOR. Yep.
sheesh. Warship. That's funny. What a
Yeah.
synchronicity because I was trying to click a link, or no, I was trying to look up the word war, but then instead of that, like I mistakenly, well, it mistakenly put like the autofill, and it gave me battleships, the battleships ad game or whatever, or game ad, and now I'm talking about the war of religion. But then in the word warship, you get a warship, like a.
Yeah, it's so silly.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that's slick.
synchronicity.
Sheesh.
Well, we all know how that one big one, the Russian one, or was it German? The one over, what was that big thing over there in the European wars, and it's talked about, and it was one of the biggest battleships ever sank or something. Bismarck.
Hmm.
Mm.
It
I
reminds
do
me of
wonder
what's in that
sometimes.
too. And then you know what happened to the Bismarck, of course, and the Titanic.
Bismarck. Wait a minute, because my subconscious went to Bismarcky, But see, like I'm starting to get this idea that you know how they say the truth is, and like I started to realize, yeah, we kind of utter it subconsciously sometimes without even knowing it. There was a whole American rapper back in the '90s called Biz Markie, you know, and so it like my mind instantly goes like, oh, like him. But then it's like, wait a minute, maybe that means something. Maybe it comes from a deeper root, and now you're giving me this correlation.
Yes, yes, and then even more so in the modern context of business owner or marquee, biz marquee.
Hmm. German battleship. Huh. You would wonder sometimes. It's funny, even in One Piece, I remember a scene where the elites they were mentioning like they're like these pirates, they're just kids walking around with names they don't even know the meaning of. I'm sitting here like, what? Yeah. They think they just got some regular old names going around, and you dig far enough, you will find some interesting stuff. Hmm. Oh yeah. I wonder.
Yes. I want to know how you got the surname 424.
Bruh. Interesting.
Mm.
Hmm. I see. Yeah. Autonomous.
Yeah.
Or yeah, yeah, I think that's the word. Yeah. That would probably be accurate.
Oh no, I've muted myself. Um, I had been saying angels tend to be not exactly corporeal, uh, just different, like construct almost, different shapes in light itself, and
Hmm.
abstract being made of like rules cobbled together in a weird way, I think. Like, it's hard to describe.
So you know what that reminds me of? That
What?
reminds me of the Pokemon unknown, because there was a person in another server like they were like, if you really look at the spelling, like you think of the word unknown with a K, but there's no K in the word. So if you actually break it down with that context, it's unowned, like unownable. But yet all these Pokemon called unknown are just symbols with eyeballs. They're like symbols of awareness. You might as well do it that way. And no Pokemon trader can own them. It's funny, but you know, Pokemon's their motto is you gotta catch them all. You can't catch an unknown. They're unownable.
Mm.
And then I even put a GIF in the side chat. You'll see exactly what you were just describing about the angels. They have like this fixed geometrical type of, you know, auto autonomous structure that they just fall in line with, and they're considered ancient. It's very interesting.
And you never want to anger one.
Ooh, the consequences would be unknown. Oh, it's unfathomable. Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, because I would imagine in higher realms, it gets more abstract. But if we're talking about like a higher order, it's almost like maybe just an order that's outside of our capability to understand it until we become it, maybe. Huh. Perhaps
Yeah.
it's a type of inclination towards integration, perhaps. Hmm.
Personally, I wonder if all beings, even they aren't opted a chance to become a being like us or as one of us in some way, shape, or form. And then
Hmm.
they are one in that. And then there are either both problems or trade offs and boons. And I wonder if those beings have the highest variance of trade offs and boons.
Hmm. Seems like a question of balance. Like, can you come down to a place like this and then remember
Yeah.
of the day? That's how they say the order of the day. But then the word day reminds me of aeon. Which goes into time and all that. And a type of implication of a dimension or realm. Hmm. There was a game called Aeon, and it had two factions. It was basically dark versus light, and they had wings naturally. At a certain level, you unlocked access to your own personal wings. Level 10, I think. Yeah, level 10. There's 10 Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. I'm just saying. Oh boy.
Well, actually, there may be more.
Oh no, yeah. I think we're just working with the base 10. Like that's
Yep.
what we can fathom at the base level. Because I actually have a wallpaper with an extended version. Like it keeps going. It's an algorithm, if you ask me.
Yes. I would gladly, if you would be okay with sharing it, I would
Oh
love
yeah,
to
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
I mean, it's rare that people are that I find people that are interested. So I just kind of keep it till that moment.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it in the side chat or wherever.
And then I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'm gonna share this with you, but then I'm gonna tell you like, what if I told you there are even further extensions of the same pattern? Like I've been shown by, by certain people who had access to this. I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm over here trying to fathom it. Like, like this is just the generic linear tree that goes upwards in a linear fashion, right? But everybody knows, like nature in its natural state isn't exactly linear. Man does that for a proper understanding of things or measurement. So I'm seeing like all kind of snowflakes and big old extensions that go into more specific, vast concept. So I'm just getting this idea, and I like this one because it includes what appears to be spheres, which makes way more sense. So I started experimenting with a visualization experiment. And I was like, what if this is just a 2D representation of a spherical yet omni-layered dimensionality or multi-dimensionality? It's like, oh, just try to imagine that. We're getting a slice.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh man, that gives you a good idea of what we're dealing with here. Speaking of order. And now I'm reminded of Elden Ring. Matter of fact, I'll just drop the GIF. It's in the logo actually, which is interesting. Hmm.
Now I'm conflicted. Should I read a book or play a video game? Or watch a movie? Yeah.
I see. Bruh. Oh yeah. I don't think I can look at circles the same anymore.
Dang it, I didn't catch any of that.
Oh, I'm a symbols guy, so yeah, I'm always looking for something.
Yeah, nice. Excellent.
Oh yeah.
A
Matter of
lot of
fact, cherry
ninja
on top.
games. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna put a cherry on top. Put the moment ad right
Yeah,
underneath.
go ahead and throw all that. I'd love to see that stuff.
Oh, I can do more. Hold on. I like just spamming the chat with hints. See if anyone catches on.
Well, yeah,
Boom,
go ahead, just throw it. It's the
boom,
best place for that.
and
We are
so
here.
if you notice, that's the Sharingan
Yeah.
with the monad. But then I put the yin yang. So then I have two monads dancing together. But then I put the Renegon, which is the ultimate form, the Sharingan evolve. But it's just a monad, but with multiple concaves of its own. But then one time, I think I had a revelation, like a mini revelation, because Madara was the one who accessed, or one of them who accessed the Renegon, and he was able to summon an astro. Then in the same chat, someone put an astrological chart, or like the topic of astrology, and I said, wait a minute, because the diagram that he had like the diagram of an orbital field, like they were tracing the field of the solar system. But at the same time, I had dropped a Renegon, symbol. And I'm sitting here like, is the Renegon showing us the user's connection to a universal orbital? Because I'm like, if he's summoning asteroids by will, he clearly has connection, or like it's obvious. But then when you make the connection to the symbol of the Renegon, it's like, is that the monad, but also like depicting one's connection to a universal orbital? Oh man. A lot to take in.
Yes, there is a uh, wealth of symbolism in each individual symbol, and they all represent, as you were saying, different parts of the same thing. Uh,
Oh yeah.
the are you familiar with the Hermes staff?
Yes. The caduceus.
Yeah, yeah, but then the full Hermetic staff as well.
I believe so.
There's more to it. Um, there's a sun and a moon and a lily pad at the bottom and two lakes, one for itself,
Huh.
the caduceus, which is two energy snakes going up to the. Oh my
Let
goodness,
me see something.
I'll post it. And then there's the Mercury symbol at the top, right before the crown, and then one other thing, and then the heavens above.
Hmm.
All of which
I feel
like
like I
go
have
into.
something.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might have shared it with you once or twice, maybe, if I was lucky.
Yeah, somebody did. I know that. I was just like, oh, well, thank you very much. Because I would just stare at it, and then, the more I'm studying, and then back to the picture, I'm like, oh,
Right, right.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
subatomic physics.
Yeah. Sheesh, how many images do I have? Yeah, I just got a folder of all this kind of stuff. Because I had one with like Thoth on the left, and I think it was Haru on the right, or something, and then the Caduceus was in the middle. Okay, that's what you. Okay, I've seen this before. Sheesh. Okay, I gotta say that one. Oh man. I mean, because technically it's easier than reading a whole bunch of books, but then you find yourself reading a whole bunch of books, but then one passage or a line catches you, and then you go back, and then you're like, wait a minute, like back to the picture.
Yeah. Now, if you ever notice a Caduceus, unless you yourself are, in a sense, invincible to whatever's going on inside and coming out of the Caduceus, do not be in the Lotus area.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Well, based on my knowledge of life and just how it's placed, yeah. Matter of fact,
And then, um, you might be okay if you don't get up in the middle of the ball, because that might have a high gravitational field, but that might be where you have to grab it,
bruh,
or right
the
above it.
snake's belly, so to speak.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just grasping at straws. Like I've heard things like metaphorically about it,
Maybe you're only meant to grasp it with your mind.
in a sense. Yeah, 'cause I feel like your mind is building bridges and ladders. Snakes and ladders. You know, go figure.
Yeah, sorry. Let me shut my window real quick.
Huh. Kind of
You
makes me
know
want to
what's
draw.
funny? I really wanted a wasp nest again in my window, but when it came down
Hmm.
to it, I couldn't allow the guy into the thing because, well, it's not my house here.
Aha.
I don't know why I wouldn't mind one, so long as it's, kind of separate from me. But, well, it's right up on me in this case, and yeah.
I mean, I can relate because I mean, I think there was a day where I was highly, so I was like extremely comfortable. I would sit by purposely because I knew there was a bee's nest in there, and like automatically test my meditation, and so I would just sit there, and I didn't know it was a wasp nest. I saw a wasp leave the nest, and then another wasp peeked out, and then it just sat there looking at me, like just covering for the other guy, I guess. And like literally the whole time until I left, it was just sitting there like, okay, cool, I got it. You're cool, you know what I'm saying? But I just gotta watch it because humans these days. Like that's kind of the vibe I was picking up. It was just watching me the whole time, and I'm like, okay, cool. I guess we're just gonna sit here. And then the other guy was just kind of going back and forth, and yeah, it was like the bouncer, and then I guess the what you would call it, the paperboy or the I don't know what kind of nickname you could give that guy, the delivery guy. It was kind of fun to watch. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Well, now I get the urge to look at all these stick photos again. I might even go on another since I've expanded a little bit. Hmm. I might actually dump a few in the chat. Let's see.
Do you know what the sun versus the moon do on this creative illustration of the subatomic force?
Hmm. In terms of the subatomic, I wouldn't know specific. My mind goes to the consciousness and the, if not polarity itself, like maybe electromagnetism or electricity and magnetism. I kind of
Yes.
get that idea.
But what of the metaphysic then, or mystic, would you apply?
Hmm. I am not so sure yet.
That's the classical masculine sun and feminine moon.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, there's that too.
What did what does the man usually do in old fairy tales?
Doesn't he rescue the damsel in distress?
How does he rescue the damsel usually?
He has to slay the dragon.
Yep, he has to break a lot of stuff up. Anything that gets in the sun's way,
Yeah,
destroy. And you know what happens with the moon?
I wonder.
What's the polar opposite of destroying everything?
Creation.
What?
Creation.
Close enough. When something is already created, though, what are the two things that can happen then?
In terms of destruction, like the polar opposite of that.
Yep.
Well, I'm getting hints of like alchemy, a type of transformation, metamorph.
In a sense, yeah, that's the aging part of it, but simply
Hmm.
existence.
Emergence.
That too, but no, just simply
Oh man,
existence.
I'm over here dancing around it.
No, no, you're good. We already have it.
I see.
I mean, if you find the better, go for it. I believe in you. I could be wrong, man.
Hmm.
I came up with that weird average for name of God from all the languages. Did you see that?
Well, now I gotta crack my brain. Let me see. Huh.
I asked the AI to list them out, and then I asked what it would give me, and then I gave my own average, like doing a sort of brain numbers at the words sort of thing.
Hmm. Wait, is it? Well, no, you said destruction. I was gonna say reflection, but that's just uh, that's just me reflecting on an image I just put. But you know, oh, the opposite of destruction in terms of something that's already created.
Oh, that. Yes, yes. Pardon. I remember. Took
Oh
a
yeah.
preservation. Preservation.
Okay,
Existence.
okay. Aha. Sustenance.
Holding things together and bringing it all together,
Yeah.
not affecting it, not harming it, just bringing it together.
That's funny because I have that in one of my pictures. The last one I posted.
Nice. And then what happens when you keep bringing a bunch of everything together really tightly? Just a ton of it.
Well, in particle physics, you get light, don't you? Eventually, like a heat, or it comes to a like an apex. for lack of a better term.
Yep, yep. And then what would you
Like
guess?
it excites. Well,
Yeah,
It's a type of compression, right?
exactly. So then what would you apply to that happening with the moon and then everything with the sun destroying it around it?
Yeah. That's a mind bender right there, because I never like that. Huh? Because I'm thinking of diamonds
Kinda.
or a type of refinement.
Now, real quick, what's nature's most perfect angle it will usually be able to get when it really wants to?
Hmm.
Straight up from the ground.
I might have to bring out my GPT.
Just straight up versus like a T. What's that's perpendicular? I think.
Because I was about to say a right angle. Hmm. I wonder. Huh. Consecration?
Let's do it. The fate. But first, the Cloister of Trials. Kamari, Waka, ready? Strength, everyone. Look, that! Hey, what gives? You're not a guardian, yes. We'll be back as soon as we can, okay? Oh, sure, soon, like
Sorry, I
tomorrow.
had to chat with the roommate for a second. Where were we?
It's okay.
Uh.
Oh yeah. What happens when all that matter condenses on the moon? So you said a chain reaction happens. Well, in this case, it multiplies itself by 10 and goes perpendicular out of the moon.
That sounds like ascension.
Yes, like 90 degrees sideways because this one's pointed up, and then the other one will go the other whichever way you can manage to point it. And then it just keeps going and getting bigger and expanding into a ball around itself again and again and again.
Bruh.
But that's if you keep feeding each one more and more energy. If it doesn't get any more energy, it just falls apart. And that's it.
Yeah, because the woman does hold the chalice.
Mhm. Where does
Hmm.
the energy come from?
I want to say the Tao.
Yes, quite literally the yin yang in this case, which the Tao represents, and is the middle part where the Sephira are also representative of in some
Hmm.
cases
Hmm.
of the full taijutsu or yin yang. It's like this tall bracket thing. Did I get to share that as a comparative?
I don't think so. I might
Well,
have my own diagrams too, though. The Wu Chi.
yes, yes, that's that part.
Yeah, kind of something like this. Hmm. Yeah, this is unlocking some other doors. Wait a minute. And speaking of right angles,
Oh, holy shit. Pardon my
you
French.
know,
Guess what it looks
I, d-
like to me? That looks
I
like the
wonder.
radionics machine My good
Oh
friend.
snap! See, I just keep these things because something it just.
Here we go. We're gonna turn it on. Boo-doo-doo.
Aha! Let us see here. Oh, that reminds me of Jing.
I'm gonna show off this first symbol. Someone's holding the caduceus there, with the eye at the top. He who controls the caduceus can usually see pretty well reality, and their
Hmm.
seeing penetrates so deeply that it reflects off of Sophia over here, or divine feminine, onto reality to create something beautiful, a palace, the
Bruh.
water that feeds the grounds to make the palace even. Wow. And it
Yeah, don't say.
penetrates to the deepest of all secrets, this image. When we look at the bottom, how his vision pierces into the cave and reflects back upward. He, he can see so deeply, it is not possible to hide unless you are shielded specifically by wisdom.
Hmm.
Wisdom gives us blind spots, but it also gives us strength. In this sense, ignorance is strength can be a motto. However, those of us who know can attain greater power through our senses, seeing the nearly hidden, beautiful peacock.
Peacock, huh?
Yeah, do you see the beautiful peacock hidden under the Sophia representative?
I see. Saraswati also has a peacock. The goddess of knowledge, arts, crafts, that kind of thing, language, wisdom, I suppose. Hmm.
Ah, I see then.
Now,
Yeah, her wisdom confers upon this world the art of the profane, artorias profana, that of the art of this world, which is still beautiful because it's art reflected from the wisdom given to us by the light of those who see. The divine union of masculine and feminine.
no momentum. You're talking about biblically accurate angels? Hmm.
Oh shoot, I didn't record me saying that. So it looks like somebody made a ruach,
Very.
but I don't think it works the same as whoever made their rock that we call the rock from like Ireland there and Celtic people. But yeah, there's much correlation between how technologies are going to seemingly be alive because it will run off the forces of nature itself a little bit, possibly. Like the thunderstorm generator, it will be very strange.
Hmm. Well, now I'm reminded of the Ark of the Covenant for some reason, because someone theorized that it may have been a type of generator.
Yeah, yes, it utilized heavy ions and something else as far as we could tell, and then would discharge
Hmm.
that. And then, even after it discharged its energy, it would still be radioactive, would explain the loss of life. And so, it might be nearing the end of its half life, or it might be so super radioactive that, it'll be around for a bit longer. But it may or may not have the kick it once had. But if it's actually the radioactive one, then yeah. But if it's this other newer one where it doesn't have whatever the key ingredient of that was, it might just be so heavy of ions that it just zaps anything in its way, kind of like the sun diagram of the Hermes staff. It might be a sort of depiction of that part of that subatomic forces analogy.
I see. Yeah, because it begins to seem to me that some people just embodied, or oh yeah, I would say a type of people embodied this knowledge to such a degree that they were simply bringing physicality to something that was already in them. Like they were already, or perhaps it was simply an aspect of them that they manifested physically into a technology.
Yes, yes. The subatomic forces of which we speak are very difficult to understand, but are quite wonderful. Do you know what it does to
Mhm.
carbon when you put it on the back of a combustion engine?
I wonder.
Completely neutralized, almost.
Hmm.
If not entirely. Do you know why?
I was about to look it up if you didn't say. So,
Thunderstorm generator. Go ahead and look it up.
aha. And at the same time, I'm also getting the idea or the notion of a thunder god, like like Ea and all this. So I'm like, huh,
Yes.
what are they really getting at? Okay, they're already talking about plasmoid, and a plasmoid is a coherent toroidal structure of
Toroidal.
plasma. Yeah, and it's confined by magnetic fields.
Yep. And then what's going on here with the? Do you remember the last images that I sent?
Yes.
Okay. This middle part is where all that major action's happening, and that middle part is also technically the sun. The moon will sometimes turn into a sun and get 10 times bigger, and then do the same thing again, and then again.
Yeah, don't say. I mean, if I could put a One Piece reference, because here's the thing, right? Because Luffy, like, his final form is considered an awakening, but then his form also is akin to a mythological figure that was a sun god. But when the awakening happened, he was jumping for joy, and the battle that was taking place happened at night. So you see the moon. So he jumps up in front of the moon, and then you see a silhouette of him in front of the moon, and then he shined, like you see all his glory, so to speak. Very interesting. And he had the ability to grow larger, as you were saying.
Oh wow, that's in a lot of things. There's a few. Yeah, there's several animes. And, oh my goodness. The main one that I liked was Mazin Saga on that, but that made me think of that
Hmm.
old Mazinger reinterpretation to be more grim dark. Yeah, it's spiritual armor Z. And what? And he destroyed the earth. Like he just straight destroyed it like a wrathful Buddha. Just went all Shin
Hmm.
Mazinger Zero on the earth. Because something bad happened to his girlfriend, and I'll leave it at that. Like it was real bad, but I don't know. I don't think the Earth needed destroyed, but yeah, he just destroyed it, and everybody went to Mars, and they're a lot weaker now. And Koji is mechanically reborn somehow, maybe or something. I don't know, but he's like he is from Earth, so he's like a third stronger than everybody because he still has his Earth body going on instead of the Martian adapted body, and then they come back to Earth and they're like weaker. And it's like crap.
Interesting. And it's funny because during that fight where he found his awakening form, he was also in the midst of slaying a dragon.
Oh yeah, slaying the dragon. Yes, yes. You said that earlier, and yeah, we're talking about the
I mean,
sun destroying things. Yes, yes.
yeah, and mind you, his finishing move was called the Bajrang gun. I was like, that is not a regular name. So I look it up. It's the weapon of choice used by Hanuman, but also represents like the force of lightning. It's like a divine force of lightning, if not a metaphor for like an an immovable force. I forgot what the exact term was, but yeah, something an absolute force of will kind of thing. Bam. And of course, his name is Monkey D. Luffy. I mean, enemy of the gods, or maybe they're just lower gods. Hmm. Because then you do have all these other stories about different war amongst the gods, like because I'm thinking of Krishna versus I forgot his name, the several headed god that he had to face that was like some giant or something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a freaking. I was obsessed after that. I was like, oh man. I rewound the whole freaking series. I was like, no, I gotta dissect this. Well, that's it. So he named his final attack after the weapon, but the Bajran gun, because he has all kind of gun. Like he came a long way with his evolution of like final finisher, like elephant gun, whatever gun, this gun, that gun, and then the Bajran gun. Like it's a giant fist the size of a damn island. Let me see, because I think I had a personal one that I saved, if I am not mistaken. And mind you, the way they describe his ability, I was just like my interpretation is, but just basically someone who is able to integrate their astral form into the physical body. So it's as if he's lucid dreaming because they literally say in the lore that he's fighting as if he's dreaming. And then I kind of just put two and two together, and I was like, oh, oh. Matter of fact, I will put this symbolism as well. I'm gonna tell you why, because like you see him holding up an island, right? Like a mountain, right? But then get this, because during that fight, so this is what made me go crazy. He had another dragon by his side because he knew that if he threw that fist, the island would collapse because the one holding the island up was Kaido, the dragon he was fighting. And so the pink dragon that he told had to hold the island up for him to throw the punch was named Momo. And then he said he told him to hold the island up, just like you see Hanuman doing so. And and essentially, let me see, trying to get a good one. So you can get a good size comparison. Pretty ridiculous. Yeah, there we go. So it's funny that Hanuman in that picture, he has the Bajrang in one hand and the island in another. And that was basically the situation. They were fighting on the island that was floating. And I didn't even catch that symbolism until just now. So, sheesh, I forgot about that story. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get the full scope. But they have like a good snapshot somewhere. Okay, boom. Now you have all three. Okay, bam. So that little thing with the skull on top, that's the island. And then the dragon on top is Kaido, his opponent. And then Momo or Momonosuke on the right is the dragon he was telling that should then hold the island up or at least give it a safe landing. So it's actually bigger than that. So yeah, pretty ridiculous. Oh yeah. I went totally crazy when I saw this. I said, what? Oh yeah. Hmm. And there was a feminine involved. Like she was the one trying to, because the pink snake was actually a young boy. And it's funny how that played out because he time traveled to this moment in time to save his people from a dragon that was going to take over the land in the future, which is this timeline. And his mother was the time traveler. And to save their village in the future, he sent them forwards in time. Like I guess her son and his father, as well as the surviving members of a clan who are still part of the battle. which according to the lore, they considered them a myth because who the hell's gonna believe time travel, first of all, you know? Like so they're just, for 20 years, they're just like, okay, by now these are just ghosts. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But then as that time came closer and closer, the anxiety ensued amongst the powers that be within that area. And then this happened, this whole war until they got to this moment. And so I'm just sitting here like, bro, this is mythology in the modern day mythology. Oh yeah. Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
difficult to. Um,
it's a lot. I mean, mind you, to even touch this guy, because that guy Kaido, he was so powerful, he had to learn a whole new way of using his own chi, which they call haki. He had to find out a way to hit him without touching him. So if you ask me, we're already talking about like ethereal battles, spiritual battle, like how the way you would fight spirits in the
yeah.
flesh, like it's not like you're gonna throw a physical punch, which like literally in the show they illustrate he's like impervious to physical attacks because he's so damn like dense. Huh, interesting word. But yeah, I would use that word. Yeah, he's so dense. You would have to impact him from the inside out, which is spiritual force, if not spiritual will. And not just anybody can even harness that level of chi within the lore itself. So it's almost like going back to the use of the Tao, which I've seen in another anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to go deeper.
Hey, I don't know.
Titus is so funny.
Boom.
You know the guy from Final Fantasy.
You can tell me about him.
Do you know
Huh?
what the name of their upgrade system was called?
Who?
Final Fantasy X.
What was the name?
The upgrade system was called the Spheres system,
Oh boy.
and it put all the jobs, ability stuff in a weird giant map.
Uh-huh. Let me see something. The sphere grid. Oh, hold on. Let me see.
Yup.
Okay. See, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier with the tree of life and the extension. It's very similar. Yeah, if I can find it. Because it was from a video. Like the guy showed me a video, then it was like this whole like he was showing me like or showing us like various mapping, like ancient. Let me see if I can find
Oh
something.
no, I mean the sphere grid in the meantime.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sorry, in the
High resolution
meantime.
too. Boom. I've seen very similar diagrams, but just using the tree of life.
And
I mean, I would figure it depends on what you're mapping out. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that is crazy. That is crazy. I need an unknown emoji. Good Lord. Hey, here we go. Golly.
Yeah, that sphere grid is effing crazy, dude. You can go
Mm.
all over the place, but it puts people in certain areas on the grid of learning things.
Hmm.
On a roll.
Jeez. What in tarnation? Ay, ay, ay. This is a whole nother rabbit hole. What? I mean, just the 10 Sephiroth Tree of Life alone, that alone, I have a book on that. That alone is dense. That one tree. So just imagine this.
I would suggest that actually that's all we really need to begin to understand the rest at first. It's all variations of one thing. I liken this from one very specific sin. Everything the
Yeah.
same, everything distinct.
Or perhaps it maps itself out, and if you want to, you can draw a diagram of what you learned so far. Yeah, I could probably do something similar based on everything I did learn. Huh. Might take a long time, but you know.
It feels that's how it is for me trying to do a resume and I'm trying to show off. Like,
Bruh. Ay, ay, ay.
How long have I been playing Final Fantasy?
That's a good question.
30 minutes. That's good.
yep,
I should end that session there. I'm getting tired.
I always had this idea of
it
like,
happens.
what if my current self went back into the past and be like, you see this Pokemon right here? Remember it, or some crap. But either way, I always felt that it was kind of there. I was like, there's something about this Pokemon. It's not normal. I think there were certain games like back in the day, like you would see it randomly, and there's nothing you could do about it. It's just there. Like, hey, an unknown appeared, and then now it disappeared. It's like like what?
You
Oh
know what
yeah, the
I
only
do?
attack it had was teleport.
You know when I told my boss about Final Fantasy, she thought I was talking about something dirty.
I wonder.
And then she thought I was talking about something scary.
Oh no, because well, it does have the word fantasy in the word in the title.
Yeah, but fantasy within itself is not it's not a dirty word.
Well, welcome to 2025. The Elden Ring has shattered. So they say. Eh. See, the unknown aspect brings that whole graph to life. That's what I'm gonna say.
The unknown.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah, if you
unknown.
look in the chat, like there's like a skill chart based on Final Fantasy that happens to strangely coincidentally looks like the unknown Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. The mistake is because you mentioned you like playing Final Fantasy, and you're playing Final Fantasy X right now, and then that reminded me. Oh, in the original you have the sphere system, and it's vaguely kind
Golly.
of really related, and then we laid it out, and they look like, and then I pointed out, hey, they look like unknown. Yeah,
And she's playing number 10, of course. That's crazy.
yeah. It's a remaster, so I don't know if they kept this design choice style or what, but yeah.
Remaster. Hmm. Yeah, I look at everything like code, man. I'm telling you, like the remastered version comes out in the 10th edition. Think about that one.
10th? Does that mean a 10th is good?
10 Sephiroth. Isn't Sephiroth a character in the freaking show? I mean,
The
in the
seventh
franchise.
game. In the seventh game, he's basically the bad guy.
Aha, bruh.
But his mother is also the reason the good guy exists, but is also the
Oh
reason
boy,
the planet's threatened.
interesting. Golly, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. Yeah, there was one day where I was just seeing so many synchronicities from so many angles. I just sat down. I was like, bro, there's nowhere you can go. There's nothing you can do. It's everywhere.
Yeah, wait, it gets better. You know what the
Yeah,
hero's last, or you know what the hero's name is?
I wonder.
Cloud Strife with Striffe.
Oh boy, Cloud Strife. That's some Gilgamesh energy right there. Wasn't he battling or going through strife against a cloud, like a storm god, basically?
Basically, in some ways, yeah.
Aye, aye, aye.
Real quick, even better, the hero of the next game, 9, or no,
Okay.
8, hero of 8 was Squall Leonhart.
Oh boy, lion.
And guess what the 10th
Oh man.
game's, guess what the 10th game's main protagonist name and then main female protagonist name was?
Hmm.
The male was named Titus or Titus, depending on the pronunciation, but Tides basically.
I definitely heard this.
And then the female, guess what her name is?
I wonder.
Yuna. Very similar to Luna. She's very,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we talking about the Final Fantasy 10?
I was
Hmm.
talking about several Final
Well,
Fantasy
most of them
before the
actually.
10.
Yeah, at this point. Tumbling down the rabbit hole. Yeah, wait.
Yeah. Squall,
I mean, because
Leonhart
I'm
was,
looking back,
yeah.
and I always used to have a funny feeling about these things, but I just never understood what it was. And here we are.
Oh, guess who my favorite character is in Final Fantasy X?
Who?
He's friends with Titus's dad,
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
is Oron.
The one with the
Hmm.
glass, the one with the sunglasses.
Yo,
Don't
he's a
spoil it.
he's a
Don't
super
spoil it
ninja.
for me.
Sorry, what were you saying?
So what I'm going to do, right? Actually, you keep explaining. I'm going to take a picture real quick. It's going to seem very random, but the name is going to ring a bell. But yeah, continue. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. It's a picture of sardine fish. It's a can of sardines. That's what I'm taking a picture of, and I'm going to send it in the chat. That's what I'm going to do because they said a name, right? I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to just let you see it for yourself. Oh boy, look at what this. What this? Boom. I know you see the name, right? and it's a can of fish. But now I'm thinking of Jesus, right? He was a fisher of men, huh? And he was a Pisces.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't. Oh man,
Hey,
good. I knew there was something about that name, bro. What in the world?
look up Rygar.
I feel like I come across that name before.
Rygar.
Hmm. From the dawn of time comes the legendary warrior to real. Oh, that's that time. He has a shield of fire, bruh.
It's a Nintendo game. It's pretty dope in all its version.
Whee!
The Nintendo game's really hard, but if you're good at it, it's fun. And even the PS2 game's relatively fun. It's like a prototype
I feel
Devil
like
May Cry.
they've always been priming us, bro. Because like every now and then you'd get that one character in that one show or where, well, it was many shows doing this. It was like, you believe in those in that mythology stuff? I thought they were just legends, bro. And then, like they would joke about it. They'd be like, hey, man, you believe in all those legends, all those myths? Like, well, I believe there's a truth in it. They'll have some kind of conversation like that, just
Yeah,
priming us. Good lord.
I just hope we don't have to fight actual dragons. That'd be a little silly. I mean, I could
Oh
probably
man.
deal with
I
it,
mean,
but yeah.
well, I'll say this because I do follow those paranormal channels, and they're beginning to talk a little bit more and more about dragon sightings, and I'm not all of them look real. A very few of them look suspiciously questionable. I will say that, but they're all the way in Japan, so the most realistic one I've seen was in Japan. They're trying to say it's from a movie. I mean, whether it's a movie or not at this point, there's other paranormal footage that it makes you question anyway, because I've seen footage that I can't even find anymore that will make you question everything. I've seen a dude look well not get chased, but it was back in the day when they were just coming out with it, and like everybody's footage had the poorest quality. They were recording on a potato or something, you know what I'm saying? But they had the best footage, man. And I seen a dude, I think it was South America. They were off by some river in the jungle, and out of nowhere, you see what appears to look like a humanoid reptilian just running out of the straight out of the water. He ran out of the water and just ran off. I'm like, what in the world? That was and it was I don't know. It's nothing. It's hardly anything you could fake there. Oh, that's fake. I mean, but South America. I mean, you know, all the media budget is over here. I'm just saying, all the media technology and budgets and the industry. Hey, so golly. So for me to see something like that, it's hard for me to get around it, man. And then of course you hear about the dragon part because this. I kind of relate the reptilian phenomenon to the dragon or ancient dragons.
I recorded a few images of the one article that talked about it, so that way I'd
Uh-huh.
have it historically preserved. It was 2015-ish, right? 2016, 2017, right?
Okay.
There were sightings down there, and then a girl had her face fucked up by one of them, supposedly.
Hmm. I've heard such stories.
Sightings of what?
Oh, so people getting messed up by like reptilians or something.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it's hard to if when someone says it like that, then it's like, oh, okay, and then they show you scars. They go, oh.
The only
I-
demons and reptilians that exist are the ones that are in the White House.
Bruh. Oh, and you know what? Because our technology is getting better, and so the footage is getting very clearer. And so you go back into those videos, they'll be like, oh, we caught a shape-shifting reptilian on camera, and then you see like glitch out, right? But we got better cameras now. And so when you look at those videos nowadays, it looks a bit more questionable, bro. It's like because they're saying it's cloaking technology. That's been that's been the running theory. And I'm looking at it now because the last one I've seen, it looks literally like that because they're saying it's 3D cloaking technology, like holographic cloaking technology or something. And then I'm looking at the footage and I'm sitting here like, bro, and because for some reason there's something about the cameras that pick up the paranormal activity a bit better. I guess there's something about the frequency of the technology within the camera that allows it to catch such things. At least compare in comparison to the common man's eye. Huh. Makes me look at things a little bit sideways. Because I've seen some people. I also work with some people. You know, I'm just saying they have a very specific demeanor. You know,
Yeah.
and so I don't say nothing, but I see what I see.
I feel
And they
the
do happen to
same.
be in very specific positions.
I almost feel like they have it from certain genetic predispositions. Like I have my own Ayurvedic ones, so I might be
Hmm.
like a more naturalized human sprouting version.
Yeah, I think
Same for you.
genetics
Same for
play a
you.
very big part. Yeah, that's the thing. Starting to realize because of course I don't think reptilian would be the only gene because I believe there's so many different kind of species and races, but I feel like it's a very specific topic to get into and it's easy to get misinformed in a sense. So I get very particular about it. So, but I have been looking around like low key, and it does make you wonder, this battle against identity and nationality and like getting us to forget our lineage and all that. It's like, whoa, hold on, what are they implying? Because I did see Naruto and what's his face? Pain. He himself said, he said the hidden leaf ninja are not atheists. They take their ancestors to be gods, and they operate under the context of the will of fire. And I'm sitting here like, oh, you don't say. So hey, I mean, take it or leave it.
That's actually very philosophically profound of Naruto. Holy crap. That is,
Bro, this
I
is
mean,
where
they've always been, but that's just like a whole nother level, though. Like actually to like an international degree.
nah, it's funny because that it's only when I rewatched it like nowadays, I think like earlier this year, that I even caught that detail because back when I was younger, I didn't have no time for all those dialogues. It was funny. My mind would shut off, like the typical, common man, their minds would shut off when you get into this kind of stuff. So I was like, wait a minute, I gotta get back into it because Naruto was the reason I even got into just decoding all these symbols in anime in the first place. And so I'm seeing all kinds of details, man. Crazy. I mean, don't get me started on the Hyuga clan because they literally have what do you call it? The eight trigrams. They didn't even sugarcoat it. That you can literally look that up. That's a real system to this day. Like the
Yes,
eight
yes, I've heard
trigrams.
of the I Ching
Yeah.
divination. Yes, yes, I did it all the time as a kid.
Oh man. Hmm. Very interesting. Hey, what are you trying to say? Yeah, Ali.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, I
Greeting.
just hopped over for a minute. I gotta hop back on voice call on a server I cannot mention.
Okay.
But I wanted to see how you guys were doing.
Not too
Going down
bad.
some rabbit holes.
Really? That's
Yeah.
good.
We're talking metaphysics to YouTube right now.
Oh,
You're
oops.
fine.
Sorry if I did. Um, yeah,
Not
I was on
necessarily.
a call on my friend's server for a minute. I had to hop over because I'm like, ooh, I need to probably say goodnight because I need to help them figure out what to do or just listen to what they're saying.
Mhm.
This is quite literally helping me. Do gotta
Pretty
be
thoughtful.
careful about these spies on there. That's gonna be fun to deal with.
Oh, I have my experiences.
Mm.
I mean, I can hear multiple helicopters right now. We were just talking about reptilian. All of a sudden, I'm hearing multiple helicopters. Whatever. I've been hearing them since high school. I'm not even, kind of unfazed. I mean, because I already know I don't. She just left. She was like, okay, you know what? No, but like, I don't ever remember what. Oh yeah, because I know I don't know enough or even do enough for them to really come and confront me. So that's. And then on top of that, I also do certain things to keep certain levels of protection up. So so there's that. Because if you're gonna go this deep, you're gonna need something. Something. Oh man. But of course, I think that's why I leave the alien stuff alone. Like I don't go snooping around too deep. Because like I think it just hit me like either this year or last year, like that, they're supposedly extra dimensional beings, but at the same time they can physicalize themselves. So I'm just like, wait a minute. So they can pull up, like they like if you get a little too snarky, they can pull up on because there's stories on that too. People that got a little too deep into the hole, and then I think there was this one guy made a public announcement to some crowd in a lecture, told his story about how he met a malevolent, either a gray or something, and they shot a beam, and you see his hand melt clearly, like it has a burn. It's melted off basically. He doesn't have a hand. I'm like, what? And he's saying he got attacked by a freaking extra dimensional being, and he said it shot a beam in his hand like a heat ray, man. I'm like, okay, well, that's my warning of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna act like I'm the new X-Men or something. Like, because shit is real out here. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'll get realer. I forgot how to
That's
dodge.
the and see that's the thing. So there is some kind of motivation there because of the fact that it is possible to attain certain ability capabilities. And I will leave that right there. Monkey D. Luffy. If anything, I can do something in that given right state of consciousness. So there's that. So if they are extra dimensional, technically through thought alone, you could defeat them before they hit you. If you know how to move. It's like you got to play chess or something. That's something I learned.
Oh.
Yeah. Matter of fact, well, that's manifestation in general. Like it's in the ether before it gets to the physical. If you understand that part, you're already halfway there because once you understand that it starts in the ether, well, then now you're like 20 steps ahead in a sense, like, you know. and then you just look at your position in the material world, and then you just act accordingly. Pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite things. Remember the
Hmm.
Tibetan Book of the Dead?
Oh yeah.
Well, there's this Sega Genesis game. I think it's called Elemental Master, and
Hmm.
yeah, you, it's playing like Mega Man kind of, left to right, sometimes up, sometimes to the side. But you're generally going up like up a tower, across the plane, then up a castle again, I think, or something. And then you fight the
Hmm.
bad guys, and each boss gives you a power up or recharge or something. So don't let it fall away. And then the
Hmm.
stages are shaped like the book. I think it's the Bhagavad Gita or the document of the Tibetan book of living and dying.
Bruh.
Yeah, and then there's like the hell realms, and yeah, it's crazy. And there's like the
Ay, ay,
lower
ay.
hell realms, and then there's like the fire hell realms, and then there's the worst hell realm after all,
Good lord.
and then you win. It's
Sheesh.
like the Phyrexian plane, if you know what I'm saying, like from Magic the Gathering, all metal
Hmm.
people, metal crap everywhere. Yeah, yeah, that's the final thing I think, or one of them. Yeah.
I feel like all this is priming me for my return to Skyrim because I know they're also lore heavy. Like it's I mean, because the funny part is, the only reason I really stopped playing is because I ran into the DLC, and then I think it was the Dragonborn DLC, right? And then I go to this one area called the Apocrypha, and I'm like, this is the most specific name I have ever heard, you know? And then, I was like, hold on. And then, like, the fact that the whole area, like the ground and the walls and pillars, are made of lost texts and papers. And so my whole subconsciousness is just like yelling at me. It's like, bro, it's in your face. And I'm sitting here like, okay, let me look up Apocrypha. It's like, oh yeah, the various hundreds of, you know, omitted texts of the Bible. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it was just a deep rabbit hole from there, and I eventually stopped playing. And so it's not like I got bored of the game. It just sent me into Wonderland, bro. Golly. So that was another entry point right there. Yeah. Like I feel like that picture, that Gnostic painting of the dude, where he's like in an average world, but then he peeks beyond the veil and he sees all these freaking geometric structures and stuff. Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead Revolver.
Good Lord. I never imagined I'd get this. What the hell?
Is this his is this his ancestor or something?
Bruh. Wouldn't be surprised.
What's his name again?
Buffalo Soldier?
Officer's ancestor.
Might as well be. I mean, they already said Buffalo Soldier, so.
Not gonna get some water.
Governor Griffin. Hmm.
Yeah, they expanded this story to focus more around Buffalo Soldier instead of Red, and the younger guy who was working with that dude who managed to get away, if I remember right.
Hmm. Well, it's funny. You're playing Red Dead. I go peek in the 5D chat, and I see a lady in a red dress with two men also wearing red in back. It's a music video called Hurricane. Oh boy.
I thought he was someone else for a minute.
Bruh. I have many people with many names, yet I have no face. Eeh, eeh, eeh.
Did Rockstar Games also make Uncharted?
Maybe.
I'm looking at a dead man.
Maybe. No. I see Naughty Dog Studio. They made games I never even heard of. Oh, they made Crash Bandicoot. The same people that made Crash Bandicoot made Uncharted.
Like who?
Crash Bandicoot.
What's that?
Wow. Okay, now I see how old I am. Football. Boom, boom. All I can think of is the mascot. Football. It's funny. I do this with, like I'm over here looking at like meditation or whatever. I started the master and then the master's master and the master's master. So you know what I'm saying? I think I should do that. Never thought about that. Well, I get. Well, then again, it's funny you say that because I had my eyes on Oblivion, but then it was outdated. But now they're talking about revamping it, and I'm like, huh. Now I have less than of excuse because I know that they're lore heavy. Yeah, now
Darling,
you got me thinking.
son, our troubles are finally over. We hit a vein of gold as wide as a locomotive that runs clean through Bear Mountain.
Hey, Pa, where'd you get that?
Isn't she a beaut?
Yeah. Can I hold it?
She's one of a pair, only two in the whole world.
Where's the other one?
My partner Griff has it. We made him up special to symbolize our newfound wealth.
Can I try it out?
One day this fine weapon will be yours. But for now, why don't you take my old pistol? Go on down to the river and practice while I give your ma her gifts.
Okay.
What are you doing to my pots and pans?
Now don't henpeck the boy. Next trip into town, I'll buy you a whole bunch of new pots and pans. Red, up the hill and quick, boy. We're getting raided.
I'm coming, Pa!
The kid's down by the river. Go get him. You better shoot to kill, boy. That's too much gun for you, boy. Dang it, the kid's still alive.
Come on, Red. It's now or never.
I'll get you, boy. Put the gun down.
You are.
Shoot that little sidewinder. but it won't happen again.
Pa! Pa! Get up, Pa! 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 Get up, Pa! Pa! Pa!
Kid, I reckon your pa's better off dead. Him being such a yellow belly and all.
What does yellow belly mean?
That is a good question.
A coward for killing an Indian woman.
Good lord. Pocahontas? Well, then again, that's a darker story.
No, his wife was named Falling Star in the story.
Here we go. Oh no, I'm thinking about Pocahontas. I mean, the truth of the real life correlation. Bullseye.
Now we come to him in his modern day.
Mhm.
And the actual start of the game.
Hmm.
Oh, easy there, friend. Come on over here. Come on now. It's too dangerous for a man to be walking around in these parts. I deal in weapons and goods, see?
Yeah, you know, Rockstar always got to have the item shop.
I would
Oh
offer you
yeah,
one, but a gang of ruffians done
and they
broke me
always
off
look
my...
strangely
Oh,
similar.
well, I didn't,
You holding out on us,
No.
old man?
Probably working formula.
What the hell are you looking at? Fill 'em full of lead.
Bruh.
Look over here!
I can imagine it really being like this back in the day.
How are you doing this by that controller? Wait, are you using your own controller? Oh, I thought you were using your mouse to control the controller on the screen.
But that would have been crazy. The kind of
Yeah.
skill you get.
Great shooting, stranger!
Hmm.
This is just shooting. This is just a shooting game.
I'm gonna make mincemeat out of you! I like those boots, Bounty Hunter. Get ready to meet your maker, Bounty Hunter!
Oh, I guess I'm gonna hop off for now.
Oh, good night.
Right.
Think your coat would look good on me?
For sure.
Don't mean your bounty hunter's gonna take me alive.
So he's a
I'm gonna
bounty
wear
hunter.
your hat for that, stranger. That hurt. You're getting my dander up. Ow! Here I come. I'm a-coming to get you. I'm a-coming. No place you can...
Damn, son! Ha! You done killed them all! You know, you can get quite a handsome bounty for these fellas if you took them down to Sheriff O'Grady's in Widow's Patch.
I'll be taking your cart.
Sure, whatever you say, bounty hunter.
How much for the lot?
Well, you did good, son, but you're out of luck. Take a look around. There ain't much here. I got nothing to offer you. The Ugly Gang is done destroyed my town.
That damn doggone leaved himself all over them fancy boots here.
Damn varmint!
Give up while I let you, boy. Quick, find cover! Who's over there? belly-livered pan. Oh, oh. I'm looking at a dead man. You son of a... Die, boy!
Where are you running off to, Sheriff? You may have beaten my gang, but you ain't gonna get by me! Oh!
Excuse me, mister? Mister, please, can you help me? You gotta help my pa. There's no doctor left in this town.
The closest doctor's in Brimstone. Sheriff Bartlett might offer you a handsome reward if you can get me there.
I'll send a telegram and tell him about your arrival.
It's a long ride to Brimstone, but I reckon I'll manage.
The best general store in the territory's in Brimstone. I should know. I own it. Hey, mister, you heading to Brimstone too? I reckon that's where everyone is heading. Always jobs in Brimstone. Me, I'm going to work for Carnaby Peabody. He's the manager of the Brimstone Bank and a real swell guy.
Howdy, gunslinger. You'll see plenty more of your kind in Brimstone. Fella like yourself might do all right in the dueling contest.
If you need a loan, Carnaby Peabody's the man to see.
That's right. The Battle Royale is coming. Best you visit the gun shop when we arrive. That's right. The battle ro...
If you need a loan, Carnage.
What? What? Are we in Brimstone? Don't wake the dog, Alfred. Don't wake...
Stop on by the general store, friend. We'll fix you up real nice. Stop on by the general store, friend. We'll fix you up real nice.
Bandits!
Well, bounty hunter, if you want this train to make it to Brimstone, you better load up them guns of yours.
Now this here's a robbery. Nobody plays hero, nobody dies. Better not be any more heroes or you'll get it, just like...
It's a long ride to Brim... I've made this trip 100 times. Seems... I better rest a while now.
The best general store in the... Stop on by the general store, friend. We'll... Hey, mister, you heading to Brimstone? Me, I'm going to work for Car... If you need a loan... If you need a loan...
Mister, you could really use a hot bath and some fresh clothes. Ew! My gracious, whatever is that smell? Sir, you are foul-smelling and terribly rude. I have nothing more to say to you. Sir, you are foul...
What you bothering me for? Sit back down.
Sir, you are foul...
What? Bandits! The train's speeding up! Something must have happened to the engineer! Ah!
I'm going to kill you slow and painful like.
you going, little butterfly? Help me! Who do you think you are? He's making me rush the train! Help me! This train's gonna fly off the tracks. I gotta slow it down. That was close. Hey, thanks for saving me. Here, let me patch you up a bit. There ain't no end to these desperados. Give up, Violet! What you got there, little sissy? Die, boy, die! Oh, damn! You best drop it. Boy, you messed up. You were hit. That there's a cute gun. Next up, Brimstone.
You the bounty hunter? Sheriff Bartlett. I got your telegram. Mighty grateful to you. I may have some work for you. Stop by my office later.
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle royale. Offers $5,000 prize to the quickest draw in the territory.
Good day to you, sir. Can't say I seen you before. Are you new in town? If you are, you'd best talk to Mr. Peabody.
Hello there, sir. If you're looking to take out a mortgage on some property, or even cash a promissory note, you came to the right place.
Well, howdy, friend. Glad you stopped in.
What can I do for you, stranger? Ralph Clover's the name.
Title to be defended for the 4th year in a row by Mr. Kelly. Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle royale. Offers $5,000 prize to the quickest
Hey,
draw in the territory.
you look like you've traveled around these parts. I heard you was the one that saved Sheriff O'Grady's life.
I hear you saved the life of Sheriff O'Grady this morning. That poor town's just a hotbed of trouble recently.
Title to be defended for the 4th year in a row by Mr. Kelly.
Howdy, mister. You look like a man who can appreciate a good shooting iron. 6th annual Say, you're new in town, ain't you, stranger? You ought to have a look around and see the sights while you's here. Well, there is the canyon. That's awful purty at sunset, but there has been some trouble up that way. You best avoid that.
Offers $5,000.
Then there's the old fairground near Widow's Patch. Mind you, that bunch of no-good circus folk hang around there. Well, forget I mentioned it. You'd best stick around these parts. Sheriff Bartlett does a keen job of keeping the undesirables away from Brimstone. Say, you're new in town, ain't you?
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle royale.
There was some fancy pants Englishman in town just the other day claiming he was a famous trick shooter. He was claiming that he'd been hired sight unseen by a world-renowned circus troupe. The only circus folk around here are the freaks that belong to that charlatan snake oil salesman, Professor Perry.
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle royale.
That Englishman better pray he don't run into them. Them circus folks just aren't right in the head. There was some fancy
Well, I do declare, I had me such a fright the other day. One of my little uns got to drinking some liver medicine I bought from a traveling salesman.
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual
Poor thing looked ever so sick, and I was quite worried for him, until I told him I was going to take him to see Woody Klein to see if he could help. So little Jimmy stops throwing a temper tantrum, and lo and behold, after all that rolling around and shaking, he was as right as rain.
offers
I don't think Jimmy will be playing with any more Mr. Perry's potions in the future.
Well, there is the canyon.
I wonder what'll happen to that town of his, now that there are no lawmen left. There are some bad sorts up that way, and if word gets to them that old Grady ran afoul of Ugly Chris,
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle.
it done turned my blood cold just thinking about it. Hey, you look like you've traveled around these parts. I heard you was the one that saved Sheriff O'Grady's life.
Why, only the other day I heard that an ex-pupil of mine, a sweet boy by the name of Joshua, got in trouble with some dynamite.
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle.
Always had a fascination with loud noises, that one. Between you and me, the poor thing was as deaf as a post. Apparently, he blew up a bathhouse and was run out of town. Poor thing's probably living a hand-to-mouth existence somewhere in the wilderness. I hear you saved the life of
Read all about it. Governor announces 6th annual battle.
He was claiming that he'd been hired.
Then there's the old fairground near...
I wonder what'll happen to that town of his. Now,
Offers $5,000 prize to the quickest draw in the territory.
You look like you need a drink. What'll it be?
when I get my hands on that prize money, I can finally get about doing that thing I was always thinking about doing. Now, what was that thing again? Yeah, when I...
Howdy, stranger. Always nice to see a fresh face in town. You look like you could do with a bath, a soft bed, and the company of a fine woman. We've got all that and more here. But if you're looking for a good time, Christina should be away. Howdy, stranger.
Why, only the other day
If you're as good a bounty hunter as O'Grady says you are, you could help me with a couple of real outlaws wreaking havoc in my territory. It'd be worth a pretty penny to you. You might want to start with Pig Josh. He's one crazy outlaw and circus freak. Just be careful. He's got a hankering for dynamite. Oh, you might want to keep your eyes out for some English feller. He don't know what a motley crew he's keeping company with.
Excuse me, sir. I seem to have found myself in a most unfortunate situation. If you would be kind enough to help me.
You ain't my problem.
Indeed, sir. However, you might feel differently once you look behind you.
Can't you see me?
Who's over there? Think that, you ferret? Who did that?
I'm guessing there's more where they came from. That contraption should make short work of them. I'll cover you.
I'm over here.
I'm gonna have a blast with you!
gonna blow up real. You gonna blow up? You gonna blow up?
Huh? I want you to go with us tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Your help has been immensely appreciated. If I can be of any assistance whatsoever, do not hesitate to call upon me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a certain debt to collect from Professor Perry and his circus crew. Good day to you.
Hope y'all enjoy.